Hey, welcome, friends and family. Super excited to be here with you today. We're continuing to read from a phenomenal book recommended to me by my very good friend and workmate, Lucas McCoy. He said, Elijah, this has been one of the best books. I think you would enjoy it. I think the team would enjoy it. So we've been going through this as a team today, Extreme Ownership. Today, we are on chapter 5, Cover and Move. Cover and move is a strategy that is used in the military, the United States military. It's probably as old as the military is. It is a pretty simple strategy, but let me just kind of tell you the story about what took place at this time. Jacko and his Navy SEALs were doing a recon in a old shattered building, and there's dogs in these backgrounds, and somehow uh, their their location was compromised, and they knew that would before very long that the Al Qaeda were going to round up some people, and they're going to come in there and try to take out these Navy SEALs. So they had about three choices of how to get out of there. They talked through it. They had to make a decision pretty decisively and fairly quickly. And they said, perhaps the best decision for us to make, because there ain't a good one, but the best of all the decisions that we have is a strategy called cover and move. What's that look like? So that would look like the first group of Navy SEALs going out while they're covered by the sniper machine guns of the other SEALs. So, 10 would go out, let's say 100 feet, and then the other ones in range of their bullets, where if an enemy came, they could shoot that enemy or at least give their men some cover while they're running out to get that 100 feet. And then the next group would leapfrog and go another 100 foot. So that's how that worked. Well, Jacko and their men decided that was the best approach. They get out there, they run out into the streets of Ramada, and there are civilians all around, but they're looking at these Navy SEALs as a force to be reckoned with. They see they're in their army gear, they have their guns, and so they do this for approximately 3 miles. And they even get in a gunfight. Luckily, they nobody was hurt. And with the strategy that they used to cover and move, they were able to cover each other and get back safely to their base. Guys, I was just thinking, like, man, how does that work? How does that work in our everyday business? How does that work for me? Like, how do we, within our company, Elevate, within the team, how do we cover each other? Like, who covers me? And I thought, man, there isn't that listing coordinator covers me. How do I mean? Year after year, list approximately 100 homes a year, 100 properties a year. This year to date, probably listed somewhere around 65. Here we are in August. That's a lot of work to be able to go out there, meet people, build relationships, and there's a lot that goes into that process. But my good friend Lucas McCoy, who is our listing coordinator, phenomenal man, he covers me so I can go out there and continue to build relationships and list property. He makes my job a whole lot easier. How does he do that? Well, one of the ways is he prepares the paperwork. Another way is that once I show up, work with the folks, they agree to price, and we can list their property. I bring it back. I give it over to the listing coordinator, Lucas McCoy. Mr. Lucas will take that paperwork. He'll send copies to the folks that signed it. He'll call them, make sure that I's are dotted, T's are crossed, so they're being represented well in the 3 multiple listing sites we put them in, which is what all the real estate agents see. We don't just list in the local Navica, we list in RealTracs and in-car. And then he makes sure it gets represented well on the World Wide Web. So all those folks in California, New York, New Jersey are seeing the best pictures. He schedules with the photographer, schedules with the sign guy. See, these are all things because Mr. Lucas McCoy is a great listing coordinator that he's taking care of me. He's covering me so that I can take care of the clients and service them and help make sure that they're being given the very best service possible and continue to build relationships and go out there and list, year after year, well over 100 properties most years. And would that be possible without a great listing coordinator? Absolutely not. There's no way you could do all that and do a great job. And I hear it time and time again how much they love Lucas and our listing coordinator. And it just puts a big smile on my heart. But you know what? There's somebody else covering me too. That is the transaction coordinator, Miss Renee Cooper. Phenomenal lady, wonderful lady. To know her is to love her. And she does such a great job of covering me in the process of the sales. Once it goes under contract, we hand that contract over to Renee Cooper, and she takes care of scheduling with the attorneys, the lenders. There's a lot of moving parts once it goes under contract. That's kind of like when we tell folks, now that's the fun part. Now you're under contract. This is where the real action starts. We also know that about 25% of all properties that go under contract will bounce out. So it's a very delicate place. Why does that happen? Generally, two reasons. One, the financing falls through. They weren't really vetted well by the lender. Or two, the home inspection portion comes and we can't work through that. And so it goes back to the market. And right now, during this season, it is a little bit, we're having more inventory. So it's becoming, the folks that are buying are able to be a little more picky. So Renee's got a tough job scheduling home inspections, scheduling with appraisers. She does a great job of that. And that gives me freedom to continue to go out there and build relationships and list properties. So they cover me so I can move. Sierra England did a great job today of sharing in chapter 5 of Cover and Move. And she just expressed the same thing that I'm saying here. She said, I look at the sales team as kind of the troops on the ground and the operations as the snipers up there, continuing to give us the freedom to go out and do what we do best. And that's build relationships and help folks get what they want in the time they want it with either selling or buying homes. So, guys, that's how it looks for us. Now, does it always work out perfect? Hey, our mission is to deliver phenomenal 5-star service for every client every time. That's our mission. That's what the operations team's working towards. That's what the sales team's working towards. So when I do a good job on the front end, presenting and helping them price accurately, then I turn it over to Lucas McCoy. He does a great job of making sure the paperwork's being taken care of, that I's are dotted, T's are crossed, that you're being represented well in the 3 MLSs and the World Wide Web. So those folks in New York, Chicago, Texas, Arizona, California, Florida, they all see you and know about your property. He's doing a phenomenal job of that. And then when we pass it over to Renee, it's just, we got to cover each other. And every now and then there's a breakdown. You know, really, even just today, we had to talk with the title company because we didn't feel like we had cover. We get to a closing with the title company, and you know what could go wrong does go wrong. The HUD settlement statement isn't accurate. There's just a lot of little mess ups, and in that situation, we really don't want it to affect the client, so we try to absorb that stress from the client. But the title company, unfortunately, didn't do a great job of that, and so we had to sit down and talk with that title company today. We did that just today. And we just said, hey, we didn't feel like we had any cover. Like we felt like you just left us out there to be shot. And we're not the enemy. We're to get along here. We got to work together. You're a partner. And so that ain't the way partners do each other. We look out for each other. We had that tough conversation. It was handled and received so well by the title company that we feel like those issues will go away. But the thing is, guys, that in any industry, in your family, in your community, in your church, in your business, we're all should be going after the same mission: phenomenal 5-star service for every client every time. We should always be, that should be our heart, to do the best we can for the people we serve. Don't you think a lot of marriages would be better when if the husband and wife knew they weren't enemies, but actually really covered each other? That's our job, is to cover our families. Our job is to cover for our teammates. And sometimes we silo and just kind of do our own little thing, and it's easy to get upset with others. But my challenge to you, my question to you this week would be, and my encouragement to you this week would be, what's one area that you could improve in covering your teammates or covering your family? How can you improve in that? So often I think we think it's their job to improve. It's like us and them, when it's all of us working together. And when we do our job at a high level, hopefully the people around us will do the same for us. So guys, that's my encouragement. Just go inside, go this week, maybe close the door, spend 10, 15 minutes and just say, what can I do to better cover my family, to better cover at my work? How can I improve? And a lot of times, you know, that old biblical principle, we reap what we sow. So sometimes it doesn't get received by the people we're sowing into, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to reap in due season. So don't grow weary. Keep sowing good. Keep looking at how you can improve. And I believe life will just keep getting better and better. Appreciate you all very much. Hope this adds some value to your week. Cover and move. We got to have each other's back. Hope you all have a great, phenomenal week. Thank you.